I'm 3 years late to the party, but I'm finally caught up on Wednesday, so let's talk about it. Hi, my name is Sean, and I love to talk about movies and TV way too much. With that in mind, go ahead and join me down below in the comment section. Let me know, what did you think about Wednesday Season 2, Part 1? Also, how do you like their model for releasing it? Would you have preferred it in the binge model? Do you like that it's in 2 parts? Would you have preferred weekly? Let's talk about it down below in the comment sections. Now, this is one that I didn't watch it back 3 years ago when the first season dropped, but my daughter was interested in watching it, and so we binged it as a family last month, and then we've tried to not binge too quickly through season 2, so we took about a week to watch season 2 part 1 so we could enjoy it and not just rush to get to the end of it. So it's kind of nice that my daughter was excited about something and I wanted to watch it with her. So she'll join in at the end of this and kind of share some of her thoughts on it. But since I didn't review season 1 when it came out, this is sort of a review of the series in general with some specifics about season 2 towards the end. And then my daughter will join and kind of share her thoughts on the show. With all that said, let's get started. As for me, I grew up watching some of the original Addams Family TV show, but the 1990s movies were a pretty big deal when they came out. Barry Sonnenfeld was a big epic director of the 90s, and those 2 films in particular were movies that my generation, we watched them on loop. So that is my primary reference point for the Addams Family. But the Addams Family and just kind of like lighthearted, spooky type shows aren't the sort of thing that I naturally gravitate towards, and I wasn't crazy about the animated Addams Family movies. So when Wednesday dropped, I just wasn't all that interested. But with the new season and becoming a cultural phenomenon, and most importantly, because my daughter was interested, I checked it out very excitedly a month ago, and like almost immediately was like, oh, I get it now. Like, oh, there, okay, I see what everyone's going crazy about, in particular with Jenna Ortega, where I've seen her in, I don't know how many movies. I mean, just in the last 5 years, I've seen her in like 8 movies or something like that. And I thought she's always done a good job, but I never fully understood like the love that people have for Jenna Ortega until I watched an episode of this show and immediately went, oh, well, there it is. That's what people are going crazy for. I get it now. I see exactly why there's something really special here. And just with the show in general, for that matter, that it taps into some like timeless storytelling techniques while having this Addams Family skin on it. Like, specifically speaking, it's a show that's basically Veronica Mars plus Harry Potter with a Addams Family skin on it. And if you unpack that, Veronica Mars was a TV show from about 20 years ago about a high schooler that was a detective that was trying to solve these crimes, kind of the thorn in the side of the local police, kind of working with the local police with a bunch of high school melodrama at the same time. That's what this show is. And then it's like Harry Potter, a story about grade school kid goes off to this mythical school for these outsiders with powers, and while there find themselves in the middle of a big mystery that they have to resolve it because the authority figures seem incompetent to do that. And along the way, we have a bunch of side quests. We have a whole bunch of grade school melodrama all along the way. That is Wednesday. And then, of course, with the Addams Family skin wrapped around the entire thing, in terms of course, the aesthetic, the humor, the lore. And it's able to do all of that really seamlessly. It just pulls together, and they found the way to actually pull that off. And the idea that you have this Wednesday Addams that, of course, is obsessed with everything macabre and dark and deadly in a place where there's murder mysteries, and you sync that up with, a Veronica Mars, Harry Potter school investigation, it makes a lot of sense. Today's video is brought to you by the Wednesday Season 2 official Woecast. Hey Nightshades, are you looking for something to scratch that Wednesday itch while you're waiting for Season 2 Part 2 to drop? Try checking out the official Wednesday Season 2 Woecast. Prepare to dive deeper into the mysteries of Wednesday with the ultimate companion video podcast. Join the frightfully funny Caitlin Riley along with her producer Thing as she sits down with the marvelously macabre cast and crew. Together they'll unravel each shocking twist, dissect the dynamics lurking beneath, unearth the deep Addams Family lore, and answer all of your lingering questions that simply refuse to stay buried. Guests include Emma Myers, Joyce Sunday, Hunter Doohan, Steve Buscemi, Fred Armisen, Catherine Zeta-Jones, the Joanne Lumley, and also show creators Al Gough and Miles Miller, and of course, Wednesday Addams herself, Jenna Ortega. With 8 delightfully dark episodes to devour, you'll be drawn deeper into the haunting halls of Nevermore Academy than ever before. But beware, you know where curiosity often leads. The Wednesday Season 2 official Woecast is available in audio and video on Tudum, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you find your podcast. You have been warned. But like I said, the glue holding it together is Jenna Ortega, where she just has this gift for being able to communicate so much with just little expressions. And whether that is her being gifted a cemetery and she's just sitting there with so much glee in her face, with that like just dead still, but just the perfect look on her face that's so different from her normal grin or normal blank stare that it just communicates utter glee at this gift of a cemetery that she gets. Or all these other situations where she's irritated by the people around her and then someone challenges her and she just does a little something with her eyes that communicates she's rethinking everything. It's like, oh, wait a minute, am I in the wrong here? Just processing what happened. And you can feel her thinking through her expressions. Or superficially, she always has the Wednesday wall up and keeps people at a distance. But of course, throughout the course of the show, she also forms a fondness for certain people that she can't express normally and connect in the ways we normally connect. But you have these little moments where she's able to say or express so much with these little expressions, little nuance in the way she says things, phrases things, that makes all the difference. And that is the unique skill set that she has. That's that Jenna Ortega magic that it's like, okay, I get it now. I get it. I'm on board with you guys. And the rest of the cast, there's a lot of fun little nods to the old movies with Christina Ricci in it, who played Wednesday in the old movies, and Christopher Lloyd, who played Fester, and some other little Easter eggs here and there. I love to see that stuff because it's that connective tissue to the things that I grew up with. Production design is another big, gigantic star here where you've got Netflix budget, Tim Burton helping run things and make things happen, and just all the resources to kind of pull off this creepy environment, and you buy into all of it. Another one of the things that really works here is just the tone. Being able to find that balance where you can have people die, and then in the next scene we're like, hey, you didn't invite me to the dance, and have it not have too much tonal whiplash. Like, find just the right way to be able to kill people off, and you feel it, you care about it, but also that it doesn't derail the tone and emotion of the whole show. It like has this really odd way that it's able to balance it surprisingly well, and then have a murder investigation too. And it kind of has all these three things balanced well, and is because it is this package of Addams Family, Veronica Mars, Harry Potter. It's much more accessible than it might have otherwise been, where like my wife doesn't do horror at all, and even in this show, Slurp, some of the murders are too far for her, but because she loves Harry Potter and Veronica Mars, she really enjoys the show because it's the type of storytelling high school drama that she gets very invested in. And then you of course have this Addams Family skin on the whole thing that just gives all of it personality that just really works. Diving into some of the specifics of this season, we've got Pugsley is now at Nevermore and has his own pet zombie. We've got an avian conjuring birds that are killing people. We've got some people that used to be dating, they're breaking up. We've got the new principal is trying to raise funds through shady means, and Morticia and Gomez are more involved, where Wednesday is afraid of a friend dying via premonition and is trying to use her powers more to fix this, while her mother is afraid of this and trying to hold her back. So, bunch of different plot lines going on. We're mid-season. It's a little bit difficult to, fully comment on any of them because I don't know how they're all going to play out. Will it be a satisfying conclusion? How will they all tie together? Don't really know at this point in time. Some quick thoughts on it. I think it's a big positive that Morticia and Gomez are more involved in Season 2. Totally understand why in Season 1 you want to make sure that our title character gets the lead front and center prominent. But when you cast Catherine Zeta-Jones and Luis Guzman as your two two heads of the Addams family, at some point in time you want to get to spend a good time with them and let them run things for a little bit. And so you're getting that more in Season 2, in particular with Morticia and Catherine Zeta-Jones. So really enjoying that. I think some of the stuff with Slurp and Pugsley feel like he's a little bit too culpable in some horrible things happening in a way that kind of needed to be acknowledged more, in particular in an episode with some campers, and you go, feel like you really need to acknowledge, hey, wait a minute, what just happened here? You can't just fully shrug that one off. Thought it was a little bit odd that they brought certain people back just to get rid of them very quickly afterwards. I thought that was just kind of strange, and it need a little bit more time on some of those. But overall, I'm enjoying Season 2 a good bit as the person that's really new to the series. It's finished watching Season 1 3 weeks ago, started watching Season 2 2 weeks ago, and just finished it last night, however that was, whatever the timeline exactly was on that. But having a good time with it. And it's just kind of one final general thought on the show. Just find it interesting. The creators of the show are the same people that created Smallville, and superficially, Smallville and Wednesday are wildly different shows with totally different tones and vibes. But if you get to the core of kind of why they work, they're not terribly different. They're kind of doing the exact same thing, just in different eras of television, where both of them are shows based off of an IP from decades past, brought into modern times, where the central plot lines tend to be about high schoolers doing investigations with a lot of high school melodrama. Both of them do that. Now, with Smallville, that was during the era of weekly episodes, episodic, and so it was much more of there's a mystery that's being resolved each week, versus this is in the era of binge models, and so it's one long mystery. There's differences, but at the core, high schoolers doing investigations with an IP skin on it. Kind of the same thing. Kind of interesting, and in both cases, it worked surprisingly well. With all that said, let me get my daughter for her quick thoughts on it. Chloe, what do you think about Wednesday in general, Season 2 specifically?
I really liked Wednesday. I think I liked Season 1 more than I liked Season 2, but Season 2 is still good. I like how it has a good balance of Wednesday and other people and things too. So it's not just all about Wednesday and it's not all dark stuff. There's also a good amount of other people and also cheerfulness, which I think is good. I like how it's a mystery, a murder mystery, and I think that's really cool. But it's a mystery, and so obviously there has to be a culprit, and it's really hard to please me with this because it's you want it to be a person in the show that you know, but if you know them in the show, then I'm gonna know who it is. So then it's a random person, how it was in Season 2, and then it's well, I don't even know that person. But then it's how they did it in Season 1. It was
also only halfway through, so we don't know where all this is going.
I know. I meant to say so.
Can't write it off too soon. We're halfway through our journey, but yes, the reveal is like, oh, well, I could have possibly guessed that.
Yeah, but like, if it is, I could have possibly guessed that, then I probably would have guessed that.
That's always the hardest thing with anything whodunit, murder mystery, like the great ones. Like, they're able to like put all the clues out there, but also like have enough red herrings, distractions, so when you get to the end, you go, oh, how did I not see that? But at the same time, but that's so difficult to balance that, right?
I think they did a really good job of that in season 1, because like we only figured out that there's gonna be 2 culprits at like right before we figured out who the culprits were.
Mm-hmm. And it's where you have 2 twists of like. Yeah. There's like the twist that it's multiple, but also the reveal. So you said, how do you find that clever thing? And it's always the trick to these.
Yeah, and then in like season 2, it didn't like quite get that. And sure, we're only like halfway in, but so far the halfway, it's been good, but it's not as good as season 1.
Alrighty.
I'm excited for the gala.
Yes. Thank you for your input. So both of us are really enjoying the show. I think both of us, at least at the halfway point, only halfway through the story, preferred season 1 for a number of reasons. But also, who knows what we would have said if we were just comparing 4 episodes of season 1 to 4 episodes of season 2. It's not exactly a 1-to-1 comparison when you don't have the satisfaction of the ultimate reveals of everything going on. Not quite the same thing, but general first impressions. Preferred season 1 just a little bit, but having a good time with all of it. Let me know your thoughts down below. Keep talking movies and TV too.